Last night, we had the so-called presidential debate. Of course, we had one president on one side, and we had a brain-dead criminal on the other side by the name of Joseph Biden. Complete disgrace. I don't know how you feel, but every time I see his Cheshire grin, it just makes me sick. I mean, the guy is a hollow shell. He's a moron. He's not very smart. He had to plagiarize other people's work because he isn't smart. He's done nothing in 47 years. They had him pump primed. They had juiced him up with some kind of drug to keep him semi-lucid for an hour and a half. And he lied through his teeth. You know, he said that I don't take money from foreign countries. No, he doesn't take it from foreign countries. It's laundered through Hunter. Okay, so that's a loophole. And now we have Hunter's former business partner, Bo Belinsky, coming forward and saying, yeah, Biden was in on it. He was the big guy. You know, the president had a number of opportunities there where he could have really slammed Biden to the mat. I thought, you know, he did a decent job. But when Biden gets up and says, the American people know that I'm the honest one, I'm the one with integrity, man, he could have just, you know, cut Biden a new one at that point. But the debates are not a be all and end all. And the American people need to understand, as I've said before, no matter who wins this election, and of course, I personally hope it's the president, is that this will not stop the downward slide in this country. And I talk about that in my weekly radio show this week with Charles Butler, a black radio talk show host who's extremely bright and very funny. He had to tone it down a little bit on Radio America, but, you know, in his own show, he lets it rip. He's kind of like the Howard Stern of political talk. I mean, not as filthy as Stern, I'll tell you, he's not filthy at all, but he lets it rip. And we need to let it rip. We, the American people, can't mince words anymore. We know that every branch of government is corrupt. We know that even the executive branch of government has tried to remove Trump for 4 years. They work against him. And even the people that appear to be on his side, the Republican establishment, the Federalist Society that feeds him names of judges that, frankly, you know, are watered down nothing. I mean, they're people who got their jobs because of political campaign contributions. I've been in front of 8 of them so far. They're worthless, and they're almost as corrupt as the Clinton and Obama appointees. Is that we, the American people, have been left defenseless. And that's why in my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, I say, turn off Hannity, turn off cable news, get up off the couch, join Freedom Watch's Justice League, sign up for our citizens class action, see if you qualify against the Chicons for all the damage they have done to this country. Join americascheriff.org, which I just started with Sheriff Joe Arpaio and Demetric Penny, a brave African-American policeman in Dallas who was almost killed during the massacre several years ago. Join what we're doing. Make a difference. We, the American people, need to rise up. And you know, I didn't put it in my book, but when it comes out in the second edition, I'm going to add this. We need to form our own government. And let's take it back to Philadelphia. Let's squeeze the leftist corrupt criminals out of Philadelphia. No coincidence that Joe Biden effectively lives in Philadelphia. I mean, Wilmington, Delaware is just basically the cesspool of Philadelphia where toxic waste is dumped, for lack of a better word, and where you can incorporate your company at, you know, for better legal rates. But it's a terrible place, Wilmington. If you ever go there, it's just simply a dump. But this is the reality, is that we, the people, need to take our country back. We need to form a new government, and let's elect our own president. Let's have cabinet members that the president appoints. Let's get judges who are really neutral, who aren't, you know, basically the yes men of the people that put them in power. We need to start again. And that's what we did in 1776 when our founding fathers broke away from the British crown. And they said, when a form of government becomes so corrupt that you can't reason with it anymore, that we need to break the bonds that exist. And I'm paraphrasing, and form a new nation. I'm not as eloquent as our founding fathers or as Thomas Jefferson. But that is the most eloquent document ever written. You know, the Bible, I love the Bible. It's super important. I could be more of a scholar of it. I confess I'm a Jewish Christian, and I believe deeply in Jesus as our Savior. And even though I'm Jewish, I'm both. And Christ was a Jew. He was the greatest Jew that ever was. And he was a rabbi. And the reality here is that we need to get back to following his word and the Father's word. And we need to leave the criminals do their own thing. So get my book. It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. See how we can, like our founding fathers, create a new nation and deal with these criminals and make sure that they pay legally and peacefully for the crimes that they have committed against this country. And the one person that was willing to stand up to them, Donald Trump, is now hanging by a thread. And it is doubtful that he will win on November 3rd. A lot of people around me say I'm wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. I pray every night that I hope I'm wrong. But let's get prepared, because, in fact, whoever wins on November 3rd, this country is going to go up in flames. The left will not allow the country to exist even under a Biden. They will seize control, and they wanted to turn it into a socialist and communist state. We cannot allow that. So that's my message for today. Go to freedomwatchusa.org and sign up for our Justice League. See if you qualify for our class actions against the Chi-Coms and others, social media. And join americasheriff.org. There's 2 S's in the middle of that name, americasheriff.org, which I formed with Sheriff Joe Arpaio to support and defend our police so they can defend us against these leftist barbarians. And pray to God that he will deliver us. Because, he's destroyed a lot of civilizations to start over again. Let's hope that ours is not one of them. If we act quickly with his grace, we can save this country. And it does not depend on who is our next president. It depends on you and me and your family. God bless you. I'll be back Monday with another special podcast. Listen to my weekend show, Special Prosecutor with Larry Klayman, that you can find at freedomwatchusa.org and on Freedom Watch's YouTube channel all over. And stay safe. And just remember, God's with us. Thank you for listening to me.
Lupita, ¿cómo está?
Pues aquí, Mary, tratando de sobrellevar esta crisis económica y la pandemia. Es que desde que el Trump ganó, a nuestras familias no le ha ido nada bien.
Sí, pues, Lupita, es que ayer estaba leyendo que el desempleo para los hispanos ha superado el 15%.
Y es feo cómo humilla y separa a nuestra comunidad.
Pero, Lupita, lo bueno es que ya son las elecciones. Y yo me acuerdo que Biden ya trabajó en una situación como esta cuando estaba con Obama. Y la economía creció. Además, crearon DACA. Él comparte nuestros valores por el trabajo y pasión por la familia. Por eso, su plan económico incluye la creación de trabajos con salarios dignos, programas para que más de nuestros hijos se gradúen y nuestras familias tengan acceso a la salud.
Pero me da miedo ir a votar, Mary, con eso de la pandemia.
No, Lupita, no tengas miedo. Por eso en esta elección vas a recibir tu boleta por correo y puedes llenarla en casa y mandarla o dejarla en una urna electoral. Solo verifica que esté registrada para votar y que eres una votante activa. Puedes hacerlo visitando registertovotnb.gov.
Gracias, Mary. Vamos a votar porque esta crisis se va a acabar cuando Biden llegue a ganar.
Este anuncio fue pagado y aprobado por Win Justice PAC, no autorizado por ningún candidato o comité de candidatos. Win Justice es responsable por el contenido de este anuncio.